Still a bit warm here in Florida, but really all things considered, a wonderful fall afternoon for football here in Tampa at Raymond James Stadium. Straight ahead, it's a matchup of unbeatens, as it'll be the Pittsburgh Steelers taking on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
Across from him on the Bucs sideline, Todd Bowles. His guys also unbeaten on the year, so two of the league's best ready to duke it out. Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. And look at this. Right away, a loose football. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And he takes it back to the house. A fumble recovery for a Steelers score.
Touchdown, Steelers.
Well, how's that for an early storyline? Some people are asking the ushers where their seat is, and boom, we've got a score on the board, a fumble return on the opening kickoff.
And this is where all the tailgating groups are looking at each other saying, maybe we need to get to the stadium just a little bit earlier next time.
But, man, those bratwursts, they're good, Charles. They're good. Extra point attempt to follow here. And he'll put it through to make it 7-0 Steelers.
Makes the score Steelers 7.
The scoop and score,
Buccaneers,
always an
0.
exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there, grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line. So out come the Bucs now for their first drive. They will be led out by the Heisman Trophy winner from 2018 from Oklahoma, Baker Mayfield.
And he's a guy who plays with a lot of emotion. He's learned how to channel it really positively.
And right away, he lost the football. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And he takes it back to the house. A fumble recovery for a Steelers score. Even the great ones, some of the best, they're not immune to the fumble, and here it really hurts them.
If the ball gets away from any runner's body, that's when the defense pokes at it, swipes at it, swats at it, and finds a way to create a big play for themselves.
The kicker
Now the
on
try here for the extra point. And it's good, and they have jumped out here to a quick 14-0 first quarter lead.
14. Buccaneers.
So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way, the fumble return for a touchdown. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line.
At their own 21-yard
And Tampa Bay
line.
trots out there now. And they come into this one riding that nice long win streak. And remember, next weekend is an open week for them. So if they can get the win here, a lot of momentum into that time off.
It certainly is. And if you're wondering if anybody's saying, boy, this is coming at a bad time, we want to keep playing, the answer can be yes. Because when teams are on a hot streak, they want to keep going. But what the veterans are telling the young guys in the locker room, an open week is always good, guys. Take it and let's go with it.
And this one is incomplete.
Mayfield's pass.
You look at the Steeler defense. It's quite a unit. Number one in the NFL against the pass.
And when you're getting ready to face the number one overall offense in the NFL, it does not matter where you rank defensively because you got your hands full. You don't know what you're going to face, but you know that that's a strong unit that you're getting ready for.
And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going to go down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. They said there was a lot of discussion in their defensive team meeting room after last week's performance. They had 7 sacks. Something in the water. There's one in the first quarter.
A lot of discussion, a lot of excitement because now everyone wants to get involved with this. Who's going to continue that process? Who's going to get to the quarterback this week? But they have to be careful. When you have that much pressure, they want to use it against you. Draws, screens, those types of plays.
We'll see if they do that. We'll see where they go for this play call. Obviously tough in this spot, backed up.
180.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. The pass is caught by Cade Otton. That'll go for a gain of 7. And that'll bring up 4th down.
I think that call was made not so much to try and get the first down, although they would have taken it if they could have gotten it, but to give their punter a little bit of space and try and help out their defense.
Yeah, they got the safe completion on 3rd. So on 4th down, Austin McNamara comes on to punt. They bring the pressure as he gets this one away. Fielded at the 43. 39-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And this offense will take over right at the midfield stripe with a 1st and 10. So out come the Steelers now for their first drive. And they will be led out by their signal caller in his 2nd year in the NFL now.
And he's playing at a very high level here in this early part of the season. In fact, he leads the NFL in passing yards. Now, that's not always an indicator of success, but in his case, it is.
And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Intended for Isaac to Slaw.
Against a team coming off a win, just as your team did the previous week, you talk about being physical all game long. Sometimes being physical is just being on the spot and helping force the incompletion.
And that nearly an interception here on this opening drive, but he gets a reprieve. It's 3rd down. Oh, and that is incomplete.
Brandon, watching their tape from last week, I saw plenty of plays like we just saw there, forcing incompletions. It was key in their win last week. They're hoping the same thing happens this time out, too.
And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. A surprising move to go for it, predictably, at least somewhat predictably. It doesn't pay off. And the Bucs are going to take over with excellent field position to boot. Now Mayfield and the Bucs come up on 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete.
Mayfield's pass.
They'll wind up getting just a yard out of it, and that'll make it 2nd down. You look at this Steeler defense. They were very strong last week in the win over Carolina.
I just consider myself fortunate that I'm not in charge of the offensive line. They gave up 7 sacks last week. And if things don't improve in this game, the head coach isn't going to be looking at the offensive line. He's going to be looking at the offensive line coach. And that's when things get dicey.
3rd and 5.
What's that?
Mayfield. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield.
Baker Mayfield sacked.
Points 1, 2, and 3 in their defensive game plan was to get to the quarterback and knock the ball free. They did it there. Luckily, offense hangs on to it.
Yeah, that's got to serve as a wake-up call, though, because they can't afford to let the ball go over to the defense and miss opportunities. And I'm not saying it happened here, but you know what a good rule of thumb is when a play like that occurs? You know who usually recovers it? The guy who missed his block and let his quarterback get hit.
And did he put that on a dime? He did. Wow, out of bounds at the 1-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. They've got things going their way early. 14-0 lead and the football.
Okay, ready?
1st and 10.
Let's go. Check go.
Back to throw now in his own end zone. And this one nearly picked off. Kind of surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but get away it does, and it's 2nd down. Now he's going to, and he is not going to get away. The rush was too strong, and this is going to wind up a safety. So they go with the empty set, and that's the risk you run right there. Nobody was there to protect.
Well, you know how most offenses have audibles, and they've changed plays when they see certain sets? A lot of defenses do the exact same thing. You go to an empty back set, they bring pressure, and boy, did it pay off in this case.
Now Mayfield and the Bucs come up on 1st and 10 at the 40. And he'll throw right away. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
Incomplete. Brings up 2nd and 10 at the 40-yard line.
To throw, Mayfield. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But it looks like a Buccaneer was able to corral it. Yes, the Bucs have it. Tampa Bay keeps the possession.
7-yard loss. Brings up 3rd down.
Here's Mayfield. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And he takes it back to the house. A fumble recovery for a Steelers score. So that is now 2 fumble return touchdowns. And you talk about something that's going to drive a head coach crazy.
Without a doubt. But for the defensive guys, once you do it once, you create a frenzy. Everybody wants to get involved, and they got it done a 2nd time.
The call is to go for 1 and kick the extra point. And that one makes this a 19-point game.
Makes the score Steelers.
The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there, grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line.
23-yard line.
Tampa Bay trots out there now. Well, partner, fast forward with me for a second. Remember, next week they have the open week, so they're going to get some extended rest. And I think the ball's out, but this will fortunately wind up out of bounds. From the 34 now, here's first and 10.
A fumble on the play. Out of bounds. The offense retains possession.
Throwing. Mayfield. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But it looks like a Buccaneer was able to corral it. Yes, the Bucs have it. Tampa Bay keeps the possession. They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. Now Mayfield. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. 3rd down.
Sets up a 3rd down and 18.
Mayfield now. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And he'll get this back down to about the 12-yard line.
I think they're going to have to make some decisions here. That's his 2nd fumble here in the 1st quarter. And what I mean by that is, do you have the confidence to stay with him? Or are you going to have to make a change and maybe go to someone else?
And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. It's their quarterback. His first touchdown on the year. And the Steelers are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Point after, right down the middle. And the route is on here in this first half.
Buccaneers 2.
A nice, tidy little drive there, getting the ball in excellent field position, and only one play to score it. Here's the Steelers' kick team as they'll boot this one away. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. Now the Buccaneer offense gets set to take over. They have the game here followed by the open date on their calendar next weekend. And Charles, this is a crew that you have to think really is relishing the opportunity to be on the couch for a few days.
Yeah, they certainly are, but let's face it, partner. They can't get caught looking ahead to that couch time while they're playing this one. They've got to take care of business first.
He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. So it goes as a completed pass, but they lose a full 5 yards.
When you lose that kind of yardage on a pass play, you often expect it to be a sack. But that wasn't the case there. They completed the pass. Probably would have been better off just dropping the football and making an incompletion as opposed to catching it and losing that kind of yardage.
Second and 15. From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. Oh, he tried to fit it in on the slant, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Cole Holcomb.
They'll take over 1st and 10 at the 23-yard line.
Here we go, shot. 60.
Throwing to start the drive. Howard. And this one incomplete. Threw it down at the feet of his receiver. Here's 2nd and 10.
Makes it 2nd and 10 at the 23-yard line.
Back to throw. Howard. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively. And now it brings up 3rd down.
And 10 yards to go.
Looking to throw. Howard. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down. The 3 straight incompletions, they don't care. That hasn't dissuaded them. They're going to go for it on 4th. And that's going to be incomplete. The Steelers try it, but they come up empty on 4th down. And that will force a turnover on downs. Now Mayfield and the Bucs come up on 1st and 10 at their own 23. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And a loose football. And the defense not able to get it. From a defensive perspective, what's that moment like when you realize the ball is loose?
It is a moment where all concentration goes right to the football. This is something you've talked about in all your preparation for the game.
Baker Mayfield sacked.
Dangerous spot for them to cough it up. Lucky to have recovered because had the defense gotten it, they were already within a shadow of the goalpost.
And then you're yelling at your own defense, sudden change, sudden change. That's not what you want to hear on your sideline. That means you've got to run out there and try and stop an offense who has the ball in a very advantageous position.
Now, a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on third down.
Here's Austin McNamara now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And taken at the 46. Found good room to run there. Returns at 14 yards. And the Steeler offense, they're set up nicely as they take over. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And a drive that stalled out last time. Went for it on fourth, didn't get it. How does that translate here? I would imagine momentum's with the defense.
Definitely with the defense, because anytime anyone goes for it on fourth down, that's telling you as a defense that you can't stop us. We don't think that you can. And when you actually do, that may put a little dent in the confidence of the offense the next time they hit the field.
Yeah, we'll see if they can bring that pride the offense this go-around. 22 yards there, a first down.
That's good for Steelers. First down. First and 10 at the 17-yard line.
Go!
Oh, he fakes a spike. Give him a couple on the scramble. It's second down.
He was brought down by Levante David. A gain of 2 brings up second and 8 at the 15-yard line.
Back to throw. Howard looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Pass.
So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves them staring up here at a third and 8.
Third down and 8 yards.
Oh, he didn't spike it. He faked it. And he's going to get into the end zone. So the fake spike works, and they score. A great effort there. With 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Steelers are pouring it on.
The kick is good.
Extra point right down the middle. And the route is on here in this first half.
Buccaneers 2.
Here's the Steelers kick team as they'll boot this one away. And this return going to come to a quick end as he is belted at the end of that one.
At their own
The Buccaneers getting ready to go as they take the field. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little.
Now Mayfield lost the football.
Baker Mayfield sacked by T.J. Watt. It's a loss of 14.
We are in for a good one as we're through one on EA Sports. So danger averted for the moment, but now here's a third and long. And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. And oh, he coughs up the football near his own goal line. And this will be gathered up in the end zone. And that's a defensive touchdown. Point after try forthcoming. And the route is on here in this first half.
Makes the score Steelers.
So not only the cough up, but then the pickup
2.
on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way, the fumble return for a touchdown. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And they'll be looking to start fresh. Just a moment ago, they were backed up, coughed up the football, and then saw it go the other way for 6 points.
I just wonder, partner, sometimes they put such an emphasis on things. And, you know, in that situation, as they ran out there, they were told, take it.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And he'll bring it back to about the 5-yard line. He already had the 1 fumble loss, so now 2 fumbles lost here in this first half.
Not setting the pace the way that you want it done. I mean, here in the first half, already twice the ball's come out and hit the turf. Got
his man. It's caught for a Steelers touchdown. Michael Pittman, his second touchdown on the season. And the Steelers are able to add on to their first half lead. Week after week, Charles, when we see this offense operate, I don't know, they just seem to get more impressive.
They certainly do, and let's face it, it's no surprise they're the best in the NFL in scoring. This team designs things well and executes even better. And here, it only takes a few snaps before they're in the end zone. That's how they demoralize teams. That's how they put them on notice.
Extra point splits the uprights. And the route is on here in this first half.
Buccaneers 2.
Here's the Steelers kick team as they'll boot this one away. And he's going to be stopped cold. Good coverage there by the kick team to bring that return to an abrupt halt. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Come on.
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window. Looking right side, and it's intercepted. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line.
First and 10 at the 39-yard line.
That's not one that he's going to want to remember, but he had to get it out of the way at some point, his first career interception.
And if he's the guy that they think he is, he's not laughing it off, but he's also not going to let it affect.
Now he'll tuck this and run. And shutting him off, now open field. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. The coverage may be too good that time as he breaks away for 19 with his legs and a first down.
I can't be sure how much of that was planned pre-snap, but it certainly opens up some avenues for their offense. And if he can stay a threat to break off those kind of runs.
And in for the Steelers touchdown. A 20-yard touchdown. And the Steelers have got it on cruise control. Point after, right down the middle. And the route is on here in this first half.
Buccaneers 2.
Well, it wasn't a one-play drive, but I think they'll take it. The scoring summary, 2 plays and into the end zone. Here's the Steelers kick team as they'll boot this one away. And he'll get it up just past the 20 as his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line.
21-yard line.
Looking to put a drive together.
Set. Panther 60. Hot, go.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. So he stopped for no gain, and it'll be second down.
No gain on the play. Brings up second and 10 at the 21-yard line.
Ready. Hot. Hot.
Now more. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But it looks like one of the DBs has it. And they will set up shop red zone territory at the 13-yard line.
Hey, I'm all about defense forcing plays and getting takeaways. But an interception and 2 fumbles in their last 3 offensive possessions.
Time to readjust?
Yeah, you can't just give all the credit to the defense on that. They've got to look in the mirror and take the blame themselves and figure out how to not do it anymore.
And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Isaac to Slaw. A 12-yard touchdown grab. And the Steelers have opened the lead up to 60. A nice throw there by the second-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie, because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to his second and sometimes third progression. That was a nice play.
Now the extra point.
Point after.
Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it.
The conversion is no good on the fake.
I know they're not asking
point.
me, but I'll give you my opinion anyway. I think it's time to erase that play from the call sheet. I guess they figure with the big lead they can experiment a little bit, but all in all, just go ahead and put that play on ice.
Here's the Steelers' kick team as they'll boot this one away. Now a hit and a loose football. And it looks like Steeler football. It is. And careless with a football there on the kick return.
And one thing I love about going to practices is trying to get around coaches and hear their catchphrases and what they really emphasize. We haven't been to a single one yet this year where a guy fielding a kick, you don't hear, tuck it away, tuck it away, tuck it away. And this time, they turned it over.
Ball security eluded him.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. The fake field goal catches everyone by surprise. And the Steelers just continue to roll. So a fake field goal run in for the touchdown. That can be a huge momentum swing.
And that's got to drive a defensive coach and a special teams coach crazy. Someone else running it in on a fake field goal when you're supposed to be alert for it. Terrific play by the offense, not so much by the defense.
And now the Steeler offense staying out there, and they'll go for two. They'll look to throw. On the RPO, he'll keep it himself. And boy, talk about adding insult to injury. He's into the end zone to tack on two more. And with a successful two-point try, the QB rolling out, I would imagine on the defense that makes it tough. When he goes out, he's got the option to run or pass.
Yeah, it really does. If you decide not to bring extra people or extra pressure, maybe you have to have a spy on the quarterback, someone to account for him. Oftentimes, that is the unaccounted for player.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Tampa Bay offense set to go again. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your play.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the offense will cover this one up, but they'll be pushed back inside their own 10. They come up on second and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. More now. Dropped for a loss of 7 by multiple defenders.
So, Brandon, we sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
Ready?
Now on 3rd and forever, he'll look to throw. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
It's going to be another frustrating end to a drive here. This offense, they've not been able to get anything going in this first half. And now it's going to be time to gather on the sidelines and try and figure out what's going wrong. Who has an idea? Who has a plan? Time to implement it.
So a good punt, but a solid 12-yard return. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field.
Here we go. Here we go.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And that is incomplete.
Pass.
Now it's 2nd and 10.
Incomplete. Leads to 2nd and 10.
Now back to throw. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone.
Touchdown.
And caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. A great play there. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Steelers extend their lead yet again. Well, only the 2 catches for him thus far, CD, but both of them have resulted in touchdowns.
And I think he's on the bench right now, Brandon, smiling at his position coach and telling him, all those times you talked to us about efficiency, I'm living it right now.
Extra point right down the middle. And the route is on here in this first half.
Buccaneers 2.
Pretty clean and simple there. Just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Now a hit and a loose football.
Fumble on the play. Recovered.
So out come the Bucs now. Here's the Steelers kick team as they'll boot this one away. And they're going to mark that where it went out of bounds, so really good starting field position up past the 40-yard line. Well, you don't see that often. He just mishit it, and it goes out of bounds.
Well, I know sitting up here, and I'm looking at you, and you're looking at me, and I know we're both thinking the same thing. Isn't it easy enough to keep it between the sidelines? Because unless you're intentionally doing it for some reason, well, that's a costly mishit, and now you put your team in a bad spot.
Incomplete.
2nd and 10.
Brings up 2nd and 10.
Unlock line.
Looking to throw.
Line.
More. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
Incomplete.
The offense on 3rd down, they've been stymied left and right. Converted only 1 time. This is 3rd and 10. Operating from the gun. Moore. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
The quarterback sacked.
Offensively lucky they're able to keep the football, but now 4th down, so they'll have to boot it away.
I do think, though, they're going to look at this as a positive. 1, they recovered the fumble, so they retained possession. But 2, being able to punt it changes field position for them. Imagine if that turnover takes place there. Now your defense has to go onto the field and try and hold. Instead, they get a little breathing room.
Powers through. It'll be a 39-yard punt. Give him a good 10 yards on the return. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Steelers offense and their quarterback set to take the field once more. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Well, CD, you and I do a lot of games together, but it is pretty rare that we do a game of this margin. I mean, this... And nothing but green grass here, middle of the field. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Isaac to Slaw. His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Steelers are well on their way to a 5-0 start as they extend their lead. When coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all 3 phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back through the early drives, you can just see that one squad was on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we have been disappointed in watching their execution throughout this contest.
Here's the Steelers' kick team as they'll boot this one away. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And just looking ahead, it would appear that that bye week is coming at the right time. They'll have 2 weeks to chew on this one, though probably not one that they want to chew on. A poor performance from start to finish.
Ready?
Now a play fake here on first down. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And he takes it back to the house. A fumble recovery for a Steelers score. So the big fella gets on the scoreboard with a return for a touchdown. Good thing he didn't have to go too far, though.
You know the trainers were very happy about that. Imagine having to go get him in the end zone, escort him to the bench, and give him the oxygen. They were loving the fact that he got in without having to run very far. I think this is just going to be a function of the times we live in now. Very similar to the bat flip in baseball. Everyone's got to start to get comfortable with this. But to me, this is just rubbing it in. You got a big lead. Go ahead and take the extra point. One thing to keep in mind, though, karma's still out there, and sometimes has a way.
Now a hit and a loose football. And he's in for 6 and a Steeler touchdown.
Touchdown, Steelers.
So they get the one-score kickoff, get a fumble, take it right back to the house. 2 quick touchdowns within a matter of about 10 seconds on the game clock.
It's like a big 1-2 punch that may lead to a knockout.
So now the Steeler offense coming onto the field. They'll try to add 2 more.
The Steelers.
They'll try and throw for it. And this is going to be caught. So add 2 more to the lead as they continue to pour it on here in the 4th. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. Now a hit and a loose football. And it looks like Steeler football. It is. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line.
Set. Ready. Panther. Ready, ready.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Now he's going to step up and run. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3.
Down at the 23-yard line.
From the 23, here's the second down and 6.
Second and 6.
Ready, set, go.
They'll drop to throw. And he's got his man in stride, complete.
Touchdown.
And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. 23 yards for the touchdown. And the Steelers add 6 more to their point total, and they're on cruise control right now here in the 4th. So that one, his 4th touchdown catch of the game, 1 behind the all-time record of 5. Extra point attempt here still to come. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. They had the short field, and they made quick work of it. Just 2 plays to get into the end zone. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24.
At their own 24.
Now the Buccaneer offense gets set to take over. And their 4-game win streak very much in jeopardy as they go to work here late with a 1st and 10.
Set up. 18 Cardinal, 18 Cardinal. Hut, go. Hut.
Off play action. More. Under pressure, they got him again. He couldn't get rid of it. He takes a sack for a loss of 6 to bring up second down.
At the 18-yard line.
Here we go. Set. Ready.
Back to throw. Moore. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. Brings it up just shy of the 25. Showed some of that quickness there on the move. Here's 3rd and 9.
Brings up 3rd and 9.
Ready.
Looking to throw. Moore. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And it's picked up. And he takes it back to the house. A fumble recovery for a Steelers score. And give some kudos to the defensive coordinator, I think, here. They bring the blitz, they dial it up, and it turns into 6 points for them.
It's so nice to hear you actually give kudos to the defense. It is so nice. You're such an offensive guy like that. I love it. He dialed things up, and boy, a big play resulted for his guys.
Well, you like the credit to the defense there, right, my friend?
Yeah, do I ever?
No going for 2. They'll kick the point after. Extra point splits the uprights. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. We said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
The quarterback sack.
We always hear a lot of veterans on the defensive side of the football. They talk about smelling blood in the water, putting pressure on a rookie. They got to him there to force it free, but couldn't recover it.
And you mentioned the pressure. Rookie quarterback, you're going to bring more pressure at him at all times because you don't know how he's going to hold up. He was fortunate there. Luck was on his side, able to recover that fumble.
A good work bringing that one back as he picks up about 16 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. That's to his tight end, Tyler Warren. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down to about the 21 or 22.
A gain of 9 brings up 2nd and 1.
Bronco 80. Go.
2nd and 1. Now a run here off the RPO. He'll keep it. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. That one a broken play, but it ends up being a good play. The scramble goes for 20.
Goal at the 2-yard line.
Ready.
And now what's this? They fake the spike. He'll throw it. And he's going to get into the end zone. So the fake spike works, and they score.
The kicker on.
Punching it in from a yard away. And the Steelers are pouring it on. Oh, I was just about to say he hadn't missed an extra point all season, but there it is. His first miss, no good. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. And deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And good field position coming up here. The football at the 12-yard line. They'll come out throwing here on first down. And it's caught. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers.
Touchdown, Pittsburgh.
An 11-yard touchdown. And the Steelers have got it on cruise control. CD, it'll go into the books as just one win, but this is a really impressive win. They've done it on defense, and here they continue to do it on offense. Another score in the fourth quarter to widen that advantage.
I like where you were going with that one. Would you say, partner, it was really 3 victories today? Landslide on the scoreboard, emphatic victory on either side of the ball. They really got it done.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And he won't quite make it to the 25.
First and 10.
Back now comes Tampa Bay.
24-yard line.
Charles, a very uninspired effort. The last time we saw them out there was a quick 3 and out, and they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
A lot of bad news on that play for them, wasn't there? Lost the football, lost a lot of yardage, but I think the good news outweighs it. Able to retain possession. That was big for them.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this will be scooped up in the end zone. A defender gets there, and it's a touchdown.
Steelers.
Once that ball was loose, the question was, would this be 2 or would it be 6? It's 6. The defense able to pounce on it.
And for the offense, the training didn't really kick in, did it? Once that ball comes loose, you've got to get on it, make sure that you recover it, or make sure you punch it out of the end zone. Anything but give it to the defense to score a touchdown.
So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And he returns this to the 22.
Take over first and
Here comes
10.
the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. And they have done themselves absolutely no favors to earn a win today in this one, Charles. The turnover woes continue. On that last drive, they had that fumble that led to a touchdown.
And, Brandon, I would say they have a mission on this drive, and the bottom line is protect the football and just put together something that they can let the last drive go. Yeah, it was a bad play. They gave up points, but that doesn't mean it has to go that way the rest of this ball game. Do what you do best on offense and try and put the ball in the end zone yourself.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
The quarterback sacked.
Much like a running back going through the line, quarterbacks have to be aware of protecting the football as well. He left it exposed that time, wound up having it knocked free, but fortunately had an alert teammate who was able to get it.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And it looks like the offense did get the football back, but it is clearly in that end zone, and it's going to be a safety. Things are just going from bad to worse now. It's a safety that does them in here, and that is one frustrated offensive unit.
They can't get out from under their own shadow right now. I mean, I know this is the NFL, but could you imagine a college crowd right now? Imagine what they'd be doing. They'd be chanting, "Start the bus," because they think this one is over.
Ready.
Looking to put a drive together.
Hiking 18. Check go.
And this play still live. He faked the spike, going to throw it.
The quarterback
And he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's second down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. Ball on the 30 now. Here's a 2nd and 9. They're going to look to throw. A short one there, caught by Warren. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here.
Brings up 3rd and 2.
Oh, he fakes the spike. But it's not going to work. He'll go down. They got him. Multiple players getting home there, and it's a loss of 2 on the sack. The defense, they brought the house. That O-line, they were overwhelmed.
To put it mildly, because they didn't have enough bodies to block all the guys that came at them. Their best move, how they would have been better served, just turn around and yell, "Look out!" because here they come.
And it's going to be batted down. It will go the other way with a football. The Steelers try it, but they come up empty on 4th down. And it'll be a turnover on downs. And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. And now this ball picked up by the offense. But here in the final 2 minutes of the game, this will be blown dead. Only the fumbler can advance the football. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Accelerating, and off he goes. Now he's loose again. And that should just about do it. They return it to the end zone, sealing it with a defensive touchdown. Now the try here for the point after. Now, these have been no picnic for him so far. He's missed 2, but this one is good. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there, grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. And he'll be brought down right on the chalk of the 20.
First and 10.
Now the Buccaneers offensive unit back out on the field. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And they'll have great field position here as the ball will be at the 15-yard line. Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10.
Ready? Cougar 19.
Straight ahead, Steele. And he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage.
Vita Vea on the stop. It's a loss of a yard. Brings up second.
Well, fans usually love to see scoring, and there was no shortage of it today. What a dominant showing from an offense that was truly playing at an elite level in this contest.
partner, this game was over a long time ago, and you noticed they did not want to slow down anything. Absolutely a dream scenario for everyone on that offense, and they took advantage of every second. Guaranteed popcorn for everyone in their